All right, folks. Good afternoon. It's me, George Page, aka the Emperor of Female Bodybuilding Talk, coming to you live on YouTube. Well, today, folks, as you know, I want to do a critique of the Olympia. As you know, it was the biggest event of last week. It's the Super Bowl of bodybuilding, and I asked a couple ladies to join me on this session. I was hoping to have some more ladies, but things happen. It's just always where you want to work out. But I had if you know these ladies, I will introduce you, Miss Mary, Dame Mary Ann and Lady Liz. As you know, these ladies have been on. I'm fond of these ladies, and they had took a lot of time to come and join me. I'm hoping my brother Jared could make it because Jared is the hand of the emperor. He gets a lot of information. He's my historian. But anyway, before we start, as you know, last week there was a passing of another bodybuilder. This was somebody was acquainted to what a lot of people mentioned. That was one Mr. George Peterson III. And it's just sad that what happened, and it's happened too often in this sport. So, like I said, I want to give a moment of silence to recognize George Peterson, and there goes my man Jared. All right, yo, Jared.
Hello.
Yeah, good to make it. Well, like I said, Jared, about to say we'll give a moment of silence to George Peterson, who passed away last week at the Olympia, and and we want to recognize him. We want to say our prayers and hearts to his family. So, a moment of silence for the late George Peterson III. All righty, folks. So let's get to business. As you know, as I said again, the Olympia is one of the biggest events of all of professional bodybuilding. It is the Super Bowl of bodybuilding. It's the NBA championships of bodybuilding. It's the World Series of bodybuilding. It is the Stanley Cup of bodybuilding, where everybody, I was having some discussions with some people saying, like, not everybody wants to go to the Olympia, but you know what? It's the biggest show. So what's the point of being competitive if you want to go onto the biggest stage in the sport? But anyway, as you know, I have some guests here. I have, it's again, Dame Mary Ann, Lady Elizabeth, and the hand of the emperor, Jared. So, and
Hand of the emperor.
yeah, and we're gonna do a nice, I saw that, yeah. Oh, it'll be all right. Maybe it don't freeze too bad, Liz. It'll be all right. But we're going to do a critique of the. We will mostly focus on 3 different divisions. We might even talk about the Mr. Olympia. As you know, Big Ramy, won again. Yeah, I think that was Liz. There. She goes. Yes.
He kept breathing. I was like, I'm not gonna be able to see the thing.
All right. If you ever step out, we'll be all right, and we can come back in later if you ever get it figured out. But there's my man Marcus Bell coming through and smashing that like. Appreciate Marcus. Appreciate brother. So we're gonna do a critique. So of these 3 divisions in women's bodybuilding. Really, we're not gonna talk too much about wellness, fitness. That's too much. And bikini, it's not really bodybuilding per se. As you know, bikini came from like back in the day when they did those Fort Lauderdale contests. And drunk old men were there for teenage girls who try to get beer money or money so to get back home.
What was that tanning lotion? What was that?
Tropicana, and also remember Hooters used to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the IFBB saw potential in it, and they grabbed on.
Yeah.
There's Brooke Burrell, and your ladies know Brooke. He's been out here before. Olympia is where bodybuilders become immortal icons, and that's kind of about true. As you know, this show was the second time for Mr. Olympia, as you know, back in 2014, 2015, when IFBB walked quietly behind female bodybuilding and stabbed in the heart. So and they was able to come back for this show. So this is the second show. Andrew Shaw has repeated. There goes my sister Miss Fishiana Fights. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, Miss Fishiana. Thank you for coming through. Thank you for supporting. Like I said, we're gonna start off. I think let's start off with figure, and I'm gonna show some pictures and put some pictures. And one of the figure again was Sydney Gillen. So just look at, and Sydney is the 4-time figure champion. You know, she has. She started out. I think she originally started out. She's been figure for a long time. Thinking, and let me see. And have any of you ladies ever met her or ever seen her before in competition?
I have not.
Uh-huh.
She was backstage for my 2019 award, and she's a girl. Still the trains out here in Arizona. She's just getting through. So she's always good.
Yeah. Well, this sounds a little bit muffled, so we'll do the best we can. But like I said, here we go, and let me see. We share. Anyway, this is from right here. This was the pictures from the right here. You see the pictures from the fitness. And I'll tell you, the fitness women are borderline physique. As you know, figure came from fitness. Because it was alternative. I used to remember in the '90s when it first started it. It was you had three. I think you had three shows. You had women's bikini, you had women lingerie, in the dresses, and you had to do the exercise stuff. And the rest of the stuff was more like closer to CrossFit. Now, so we have here, yeah. So we go here. Now, women's figure? It should be on here. Wait a minute, women's figure, where's figure? There it is. Now, the figure, like I said, Sydney Gillen took first place. And I think we're going to talk about the top 6 contenders at the show. So right here, we have Sydney Gillen. And, let's see, Sydney is, and she's pretty impressive. I mean, she's young, up and coming, And like I said, you ladies, what's your thoughts on Sydney as the Miss figure? What's your thoughts on her?
I'll have Liz go. I'm gonna sign on the computer. I'll be right back.
Okay.
I love Sydney's figure. She's definitely got a very unbeatable type of physique. She always comes out on time. I don't think I've ever quite seen her not conditioned the way she needs to be. There was one small thing that I saw, maybe a flaw that's now started to develop more. She got some muscle, like the symmetry in her back. It's a little off for some reason. I work with a lot of body mechanics and things like that. It looks a different muscle. There's the tight muscle or something that needs to be balanced out. So that's the only drawback I think in her physique. But her strong points are a great kind of weight.
Liz, can you talk a little louder? Because somehow it's just like.
Yeah. Can you guys hear me better now? I'm sorry, I'm having issues with my microphone.
Yeah. Because it's pretty close to the phone. Yeah, a little better.
There we go. You may not be able to see me much, but I'll put it next to the mic.
Yeah,
okay,
that's better.
Yeah, better.
Yeah. I figured because it's at the bottom of the phone.
Yeah, it sounds more clear.
So she just has a little bit of imbalance that I'm seeing in the upper back. I do like her for the winner of this one. It's just because everything else she has is super balanced for what the division requires. Her waist is almost unbeatable. It's so tiny. Great development. She's always full in terms of like muscle. She always has great conditioning. So I definitely think she earned this one. But I think she got to be careful because those girls are coming up right behind her.
Yeah, and Jared, because you watch the show, what's your critique of Sydney Gillen?
Well, I watched the show, but I didn't watch the pretty much any other parts other than the Miss Olympia. Generally speaking, I think she seems to have all the good qualities for this is figure, right?
Yeah, figure.
Yeah, she seems to have all the she's got that figure-ish kind of physique to her, where it's kind of like between bikini and I mean between fitness and physique. I like her arms. She's very proportional. She looks like her body's kind of like diagonal almost. Yeah, really no complaints about it.
Alrighty. So, like I said, that was City Killing. Next up, like I said, the next lady who took second behind Sydney, and let's go here, is is Natalia Sototoro. I'm saying Natalia, and she looks like, I think she has, she looks pretty good. I mean, pretty impressive. She might have the qualities that might be, I think she was more borderline bikini. So, what y'all think?
First of all, can you guys hear me okay now?
Huh?
Oh, still can't hear me. How about now? You guys hear me better now?
Yeah, I can hear you a bit.
A little bit better.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Tara, she's one of my favorites. Honestly, yeah, you're right. She does have a bikini shape, but we end up finding this a lot in figure, just because a lot of girls from bikini do transition into figure, and there is a kind of a genetic structure and shape that goes along with that, and it has a lot to do with her presentation too. I really like her physique because her legs are so developed; they're so well done. Her abs are always just solid and on point. I don't know. I'd have to look up a little closer to see why she maybe got the second place, but it's just.
Well, let me spare the picture a little bit.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it right here on the tablet too, so I can look it up real nice and slow.
Well, let me see. Let me send you a copy of the link to IG, and that should help you out.
Yeah.
Let me give me a second. And like I said, Jared, what you think? What's your opinion of it?
Yeah, I do think. I think it's reasonable to give her second place. I think she does look good, but I think the other girl just came in a little bit tighter than her, especially in the waist, abdomen area, and the arms too, honestly. But yeah, I think that's pretty good summary.
Yeah, because with figures, figures has the aesthetics that matches with I think between fitness and bikini. Some ladies have transitioned. Some have transitioned from bikini up to figure, and then you have some that also transitioned from figure up to physique. As you know, I think, who was it? My dear friend Brittany Brooks. She was a figure competitor, and she went up to physique. Liz, she did both. She was doing her last show, the before she was doing the USA's. She was doing both divisions, and also she was there in James, where I think he took second in women's physique and then third in figure. Liz, can you hear me? Yeah, that's for you.
Yes, I just missed the pro card in figure, but I did get my second place to beat.
Yeah. Alrighty. So next up, we're gonna go here, and that is Stephanie Gibson. So you're going here. Yeah. She's. Yeah. What you think? I mean, she looks.
On the money, man. I'm so proud of Stephanie. She's also from Phoenix. I actually trained with her before she won her pro card, her and her husband. Incredible work ethic. Everything is developed. Everything is balanced. But this girl's been training since she was 16. Her dad was a bodybuilder as well. In fact, she remembers times where she was at recitals where her dad had to leave to eat a meal and eat their soda. So she understands now why that had to happen. But she's just incredible. She's so balanced. She has such a great shape. Her legs. If you pull up a back shot of her legs, I quite honestly think her legs beat everybody.
Well, let me do this real quick. and I think I could probably pull it
If you
up
pull up
because,
the
like,
comparisons of the final lineup,
yeah.
you see all of their times in the back. It looks good.
Let me see if we can find a back shot. We should have it here. This is from the. Let me do this, and let's see. I'm gonna try to put a share. Give me a second. Let's see. Uh, and let me see. Let me try to pull up
There we go.
the her back from the legs.
I don't think I can see
Got
it
it?
on there, but the adductor development is what I'm talking about.
You
No
got
other
it?
girl in the has that inner leg.
That's pretty impressive. I mean, that's pretty good. What you think of
And she just
Jared?
I didn't see the back. I mean, I saw the one that Liz showed, but I didn't see the one on your screen.
Well, let me see.
But
Let me put up the screen real quick because I got it. Let me see. Uh, because I wish I had a computer. Let's see, and I'll put it for Jared. And let's see. Let me see. There we go. And I think I got it. And
I
there
feel
it
like
is.
her only drawback is her abs. She needs to find out how to make those pop on stage.
Uh huh.
yeah,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
like her delts. But yeah, everything looks pretty good back wise. Yeah.
Yeah. She looks pretty impressive. Great development. Like I said, like Liz said, if she could bring her abs in, I think she might do pretty good.
Yeah.
Now,
We're doing it.
yeah. So let me get back here. The next person here, and that's number 4. Let me see. And let's see, let's go back to number 4. Take my time, talk amongst yourselves. And that is Jessica Reyes Padilla. And
Yeah.
I sent, like, what I did was, like, what I did with some of the ladies that I follow, because if you do a show, you have to pay to get the pictures. So what I did is, because usually sites like NBC News Online, they put out the pictures within the hour. So what I
Yeah.
did was, yeah, I sent the ladies the photos, and she was one of the ladies that appreciate that, because some of them didn't respond. Somebody did send, and the other lady was so appreciative, because what it does, it saves y'all ladies money, because you
Yeah.
don't have to pay the photographers, you know, and you don't have to pay the guys to for the photos, and that
Yeah.
saves you money. And she's appreciative. She's really appreciative. So what y'all think?
Yeah. She's a nice lady. I like Jessica. She's one of the ones that I really like in figure, just because she's a taller athlete. It's harder for the ladies to look that round when you're that tall. Anybody really. Um, I think that she could have been tighter here. She's been tighter before. And I don't know if maybe she's flat or not conditioned enough. I want to say she's probably a little flat, and that's probably why these pre-doping photos that she just doesn't quite have that 3D pop that the other two girls did. The other two girls did. But she just gets that peak right. She could be very dangerous because she has a lot of quality muscle and a great shape.
I remember she was doing an interview with Alina Popa, and Alina suggested she think about doing physique. And if she come in, she
She
might be
needs more
better.
muscle.
Yeah, she might be
If
better
she
in
does
bikini.
physique, that's a whole nother level. That's a
Yeah,
whole
yeah,
nother level. She's almost there for figure. She just needs to tighten up. But physique, she needs a lot more because she's tall. She's going to be
yeah,
against girls who are shorter, who are thicker.
yeah, yeah. Because I think with taller women, it's hard to put on a lot of muscle compared to women, like, if like some bodybuilders like under anything under 5'4" or 5'5" can really pack
Yep.
on some muscle, compared to if
Yep.
you were like 5'7" to 5'11". That it takes a lot to put on the extra muscle. So how
Yeah.
you feel about Jessica, Jarrett?
Can't really add too much to what she added to that. Other than yeah, she came in pretty well, I guess, by the standards of figure. Yeah, the problem is I'm usually judging by bodybuilding comparisons here, and with figure, it's like
was
standard is like so much different.
Yeah, I think I compare figure closer to like lightweight bodybuilding.
Yeah.
You know, that's where it's like, you know, without the high heels, it's almost like lightweight bodybuilding. And that's why you know, I pick those three divisions because they're kind of like, if you go for NBC standard, women's open is like it's heavyweight, physique is middleweight, and I see figure is lightweight. Now we have next up is Nicole Graham, and you know, I'm not gonna say her middle name, I'm gonna say Nicole Graham. And wow, I mean, she looks pretty impressive. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I mean, some of these figure women, you know, they really look pretty impressive. You know, I'm starting to do more content on figure. You know, and because of you, Liz, because you're the one who inspired me.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate that. Yeah, the
You're
figure girl,
welcome.
they have some stuff to offer. I'm trying to get to a close up of her too, just to look at the conditioning, but I already know why she plays where she plays. Unfortunately, it is shape for her. It's not much that she can really do about that. She's a little bit more shorter waist and longer legs, which make that X frame look a little bit different when you're standing next to somebody who's a little bit more equally balanced. But she had pretty great conditioning. I like. Is this Zenobia? Oh yeah, I follow her on Instagram. She's got a great piece that she usually does. I'm just getting a little closer.
Yeah. Yeah, she has nice long legs. Yeah, her shoulders look pretty good. You know,
She's
I
actually
think.
one that might do better in physique because the heels make her legs look longer. And unfortunately, from that photo that I see there, it kind of it elongates that X towards the bottom. So if she were flat-footed, she might look a little larger.
Yeah, because I think without the heels, you know, it does make her look taller. And without the heels, she probably, and she does have the aesthetics. If you look at her, if you compare it to some of the ladies that compete in the physique at the weekend, you know,
Yeah.
she might, it's
She
good.
would,
I know
she's
it's
got
like,
great shoulders.
you got broad shoulders too, yeah. And you know how the judges are. They will tell you if you need to go up. Because I know a couple ladies who I did interviews with, Jada Beverly. Remember when her and Myla Ashford competed in their last show was the Ultima. They were told to move up to women's bodybuilding. And you know what happened with you know, Myla, she won the New York Pro, was qualified for the Olympia last year.
Right.
And Jada, you know, she did a few shows and she has a great physique. I tell her she has a great physique. But you know, I think, you know, it's just all about what the judges like. And that's the thing about the judges.
Yeah.
Now, I think the last person I said I was gonna do top six because there's so many ladies. You know, I might mention one before I go out. And the top six, and number six is Lahana Robinson. And you know, I follow her on social media. She was there with her kids, her little boy
Oh,
and
I
her little
love
girl.
her.
Yeah, yeah.
She's
My
so
friend
funny.
my friend Brittany Brooks, she knows her. You know, I reached out to her about doing an interview sometime soon. I'm hoping she responds. But
Yeah.
I think she has a pretty impressive physique. I saw her one time. She was at I think it was the Tampa, where she was standing beside Helen Trevino. And then Helen Trevino did like a back shot. And I said, my God, her back is just as almost as, I won't say it's like Helen's, but it's close to it.
She's got such a broad frame. I've been watching her compete for like 2 years. She did a show the same year that Charles did the Legion, and I want to say she won that show too, or placed very highly. She's just got a great shape. It's interesting in figure because you're going to get a whole lot of different body type shapes. But she's another one that I think could be easily fluid into physique if she decided that she wanted to go that way. Because I don't know how much any improvement that she's going to make on this placing or this physique is conditioning and tightening. And the hard part about that with figure is how far do you need to go to get that shape to come in, and is it going to cross the line of figure conditioning that they want? You know, they definitely don't want striations. Is she going to be able to get lean enough without getting striations? At which point, maybe she should do physique. But I love her. She's got great stage presence. She's so happy and fun on stage. That's also a big part of your sport too, your confidence and whatnot. But she could be
Yeah. And I think, like I said, her quad's a lot bigger compared to the other girls.
Yeah, she's tall.
And
She's another tall one.
yeah, Yeah,
She
and I
did get
think
tired of her final, though, so that's good.
yeah.
The thing with
What you
figure, the number one identifier that I feel like is really what's going to place you in the top five is your quad separation. The tie-ins are not quite as sharp as say a women's physique, but that all the crazy lines and separation and quads up front. If you're figure, you gotta have that. You gotta get the conditioning down to get your quads there, and then your abs. Because I've just not seen them place anybody who doesn't have that.
Yeah. What you think, Jared? I want to get your opinion of my emperor, hand of the emperor.
Um, yeah, I think her quads look great. I think maybe her arms and abdomen need some work. I think she's got a nice pose there. Yeah, and I also noticed the nice triangle body she's got. So, yeah.
Yeah, the V taper, which is very popular, I think, in both divisions, in most of the divisions, because it's that that shape where your waist draws in and it kind of just widens out when you get up to the upper part of the body to the shoulders, and I think that's what a lot of judges want to see. And that's the top six in figure. Now I'm gonna mention one more lady before we jump over to the next division, and that is a lady who I follow on social media. I think I'm surprised she didn't get higher at this show. I mean, it was a tough, stiff competition, and that is let me see what here we go. Uh, uh, Loan Montez, and I thought she would place a little higher. I mean, I think this is what her best showing. She did pretty good at the Linda Norfolk. She looked a lot tighter at the Linda Norfolk. She looks more like bikini than figure.
So this is abs and back, probably, but not really lat width. It's the density and depth that she's going to have in her abs. She's got great quads. You're right. That's exactly the separation that they're looking for. You have to see a back shot to see, but you can see that her abs are pushing, but she doesn't have very much. And so because there's not very much, when she does her front shots, it looks as if this figure is not complete. So
Yeah.
she brings those up, gets those to pop a little harder, makes that solid. I know everybody's scared to make their waist bigger, but you have to support the upper back. If you don't, it just ends up looking really like ribby. You see all the ribs and stuff. You don't really like that.
Yeah. Let me
At
see
least
if
in
I
my
can
opinion.
find. Let me see if I can find a quick back picture. There we go. We got this one here. Just if Jerry can see this back picture here, and
The hair is covering it.
yeah. Well, like I said, the quads look pretty good. Might need to be a little tighter at the in the glutes. I mean, yeah, you can't really see the
Definitely.
back that way. Yeah, but she's
Yeah,
pretty
definitely.
impressive. I know and this thing
She's
about
got
her, she's
huge
a
calves.
mother. Yeah, she's a mother with kids. One of the kids has special needs. I think she might have been really busy taking care of him too, and with that, that's
Yeah.
take a lot of time out of you. And I think but she's impressive. I
No,
like her.
she looks great for the package that she has. I'll be honest. I don't think she could get quite that much tighter and still be able to compete in figure. Just because I'm looking at the tie-in from her back relax, and her adductors are in, her hamstrings are in, her tie-in is in. Um, Sometimes when there's a place on your body that looks as if it needs to be tighter, it actually just needs more muscle development. There's more space for that muscle to fill out for that training.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I
Right
think she
here
just works
got
on her.
yeah. Right here got KL. No angel, ain't no angel. You guys are breaking science to me when I hear the different divisions. I just be looking at muscle. Yeah, I know you're a fan of the muscle girls. So like I said, so right now, like I said, we're done with women's figure. So we're gonna go over to women's physique. We will do the top six, and we'll talk. I've also talk a couple other competitors who competed at the show. So get a kiss. And like I said, this is was a pretty good Olympia. I mean, impressive women. Great development. So we go to women's physique, and it's not that far. Let's see. Okay, now we start off with the champ, Sarah Villegas. And let me find. I think I finally found a better picture where she's frontwards. Let me see. Yeah, right. This is one good. This is good. And I think she has. I think what the judges are looking for are they want to find another Dana Lee Bailey. 'Cause I remember somebody saying that, and
Yes and no, because somebody in the top 5 actually looks like a clone of Dana Davis with blonde hair. And Sarah's physique is very different from Coon.
I think I know you're talking about. We'll get to her right after that.
Yeah.
But Sarah, Sarah. She looks pretty good. I mean, she was the woman to beat Shanique Grant for the title. And then here's also this. I like this. When they passed out the awards, Sarah Lynn was there. She gave out the award to Sarah. Dana Lynn was there. She gave the award to Sarah.
Yeah.
And I would think you would get. I think they want to get away from the looks of somebody like Joanna Marquer or Shanique Grant, because they would have asked them, because especially Julianne, she won 4 Miss Olympias. So you would think the one with the most Miss Olympia, you want to come over. But I seen her did an interview. She said she's trying to get away from it because she had an interview a while time ago. So we'll get the expert here, Miss Lady Liz.
I love Sarah. She's honestly, we're prepping an athlete right now who has a similar shape, and so Sarah is always the girl that I tell her to look at in terms of posing and muscle development and whatnot. She's just complete. Everything is there. There's really hardly any lacking body parts. Her abs are great. Her serratus is great. One of my favorite things about her is the very detailed glute striation that she has that comes in. It's very slight, but it's very crisp. Her posing is always on point. Her presentation is on point, and she's a great ambassador for this division.
Mm-hmm. And Jared, what do you think of Miss Val Guys?
I definitely think she's got the make and model of a Olympia physique champion, to say the least.
Well, y'all folks talk about your show. I got something for a quick second. Sorry about that, folks. Life has telemarketers. But like I said, Sarah, I think she's gonna be for a good while the gold standard, unless somebody really gets to the level where they push her out. I know I was talking with somebody before that she competed in quite a few Miss Olympias. She barely cracked the top 10 the last couple of years, but this time, last year she was able to win, and this year she able to retain her title. But it's all what's going to look like in 2022, especially as you got some women overseas who want to come over here and compete, and you got a lot of ladies who are now prepping for the next Miss Olympia. So just see how it's going to look. So next up, we have his second runner-up, who last year took third runner-up, and that's Natalia. I'm not going to say her last name because it's too difficult to say it, because I hate to say last names to mess them up. Natalia Abraham.
Wonderful.
Yeah. I'm from the South. Sometimes we some words we don't come out as graph on our tongues. But she's the thing with Natalia, she's young. She's still young. Yeah, she's just, and she was, and I think she hadn't really, I'm hearing guys, like I'm seeing stuff on guys saying Natalia got robbed. But here's the thing is, I think the judges want to get away from her look. She looks like a good bit like Shanique Grant, a bit like Juliana. Those women, they started out in figure and went over to physique. But she has a impressive physique, but I think she hadn't hit a peak yet because she's still in her late 20s, and I think some women don't hit their peak till like 30 to about 40.
Yeah, I've seen Natalia have more muscle than this, but I've also never seen her waist this tight. I know that's what they're going for because Natalia, just where the spine, this is why I look at the body genetics. So the spine itself is shorter and the legs are longer, which means that she's going to have a harder time creating the illusion of a smaller waist. But she's way tighter in her waist than she's ever been before. This is by far her best package. But unfortunately, when we get to the point where we start to whittle those things down, sometimes we take other muscle groups with them. And what I see that really kind of went away for her this year is the arms and the legs are a little smaller than usual. And that's obviously because she's tighter and more conditioned. It sucks. I really like her physique. I really like her work ethic. She's very good. I just don't know how far she's going to get with her genetics. There's
Yeah.
just other girls like Sarah, other girls like Denise, other girls like this third place girl that we're about to talk about, that when they get developed, they're going to outshine her. And it's kind of part of the game.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough for her because, like I said, she's still young. She might need to sit some time off. I mean, she might just need to skip the next couple Olympias and work on her, size.
Well, she does, I think, 1 year. I think she's placed top 5 for a few years now, so she only does this one.
Yeah. And plus, she won at least two. She won, two Arnold Schwarzenegger Classics. They have the division this year because of capacity size for the Arnold Schwarzenegger Classic. It was just men's, I think, opens, men's, I think, physique classic, bikini, and fitness.
Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of unfair, to me. Jared?
Yeah, I think she needs to work a little bit on her chest area. There's just something about the dimensions that are a bit off. I'm seeing it looks a little too. Just something about it looks a little too curved. Hard to explain. And I think her arms are also a little bit small too. She's got to work on that. But her legs look good. Everything else looks pretty good.
Yeah, I think where her chest is because her breast implants, I don't know. They usually, there's like two ways you get them. Either you sit them above the muscle or under the muscle. And it looks like she might hers above the muscles, you think? And that might really kind of, because if she get them under the muscle, they get that droop and sag look, which is more natural. And it really take away from the look of her chest. So I think that's what hurts her. I think, she got the wrong, whoever doctor did her chest, if she was thinking about doing it, she might want to go back and have them changed and put them, over the pectoral muscles.
Yeah, you're right, because I'm looking at the side chest pose, and it really does distort the side chest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so if you get that natural sag to it, it won't take away from a chest development. And that's what I think that's the look that the judges are trying to get away from. They want to get away from, the women who do that type of surgery. Because, it kind of really distorts. Like I said, a lot of ladies who don't get breast implants, a lot of ladies don't get breast implants to say that it distort their pectoral muscles. As there's a lady there's some ladies who recently did some, Brittany Larson. She had breast implants when she was competing. And she had to take decisions to have her taken out. And I think a couple of others has also, mostly because of toxicity. Because we talked about before how it affects, you have something like a foreign body inside your body. It does affect you, get you sick. And I think, if you ever saw Brittany Larson, I think it was physique's most improved. I think she has, if she brings in some size to her legs and stuff, I think she could probably be a great bodybuilder. Yeah. So let's go see next up. We just finished with Miss Canejo. And a lady we was talking about mentioned who took third place at the Olympia, and I think there's a good chance that she might, if she comes in better condition next year and with more size, she possibly could beat or take second or beat Sarah Vickers, and that is Brooke. And
she looks phenomenal.
Yeah, she looks pretty good. Let me get more of a front view or something like that.
When I saw her on stage, I was like, because I follow another lady, the classical queen, and I was like, man, she filled out. I thought that was her. But then when I saw her, obviously it wasn't. But she reminds me of Dana, but with thick muscle. Like she's developed muscles. She's got that sporty athletic look. It flows. Her proportions are on point. Yeah, she just needs a little bit tighter, a little bit more muscle to make her like dramatic, and she could probably take it.
Yeah, she looks pretty impressive. Like she like you said, she does have those aesthetic looks of the early Dana Lynn Bailey, and I think she has a look that I think the judges like. She's kind of petite. She's blonde. If she can bring in just a little more size, tighten up some. Yeah, there's a good.
Her back needs to be a little bigger, I think.
Get more width in her back. she could maybe knock Sarah off or take second place next year if she can come,
Easily.
because you know she
Yeah,
already
I have
qualified. Yeah. How you think of what you think of Brooke, Jared?
I think she should have probably gotten second place.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't argue that.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know,
I
but I
think
think
her
about
career is a little bit better.
hmm
Yeah.
I think yeah, if she came in a little tighter, you know,
But is she
because I
new?
think who Brooke.
Yeah.
I
Is she
think Brooke
new?
been competing. She been competing for a while. I did. I was doing a. I did my comparison videos, and I researched on her. She started competing about 2012,
Okay.
and then she was in figure originally. Then she was told to switch to physique later on, and she's been competing in physique for quite some time now. She's from
Is this her
Arkansas.
first Olympia?
This is her first Olympia. This is her first Olympia, and
And that's why
and
she takes first place. She,
mhm.
unless you knock out the champ, you knock out the people in front of you, you kind of have to do your time.
Yeah. She has to build herself up, work on a few things. She's qualified now, so this is my advice for her: don't do any other shows. Just
Just
I know sometimes ladies do shows to make some
perfect it.
money. Yeah, they make some like you ladies might do shows to make some money, but if you do posing, guest posing stuff like that, maybe try to get some sponsors. Focus on the Olympia. Because as you know, they did the Rising Phoenix, and some of those women at the Rising Phoenix didn't do too well. And some did bounce back for the Olympia, but some others didn't. So, like I said, and I think Brooke has the aesthetics that if she comes in better condition, in better shape, she could possibly, you know, maybe
She could do it.
someday, yeah, knock off the champ. I think if it's all up to the
All
judges.
she's got to do is catch the champ off in one show.
Yeah, I think it's happened to Iris Kyle one year. I think when she lost to Yaxina King because the judges wanted to go for a more softer look. Iris came in. I mean, Yaxina came in with a look that the judges liked, and that's why she beat Iris that year back in 2005. Now here is a lady I follow on social media, and that is from France, Miss Barbara Manjon, and Barbara, she did pretty good. I mean, and I can call her a gatekeeper. She's still holding that same spot in fourth place, and she is what you consider a gatekeeper. So
Get past her and then you make her.
yeah, you got to get past her. And I follow on social media. I mean, I sent her the pictures of this from the for the show. She was very thankful. Because that's like I said, that saves a few francs instead of buying the pictures from the show. But she looks. I think one thing is she looks a little off. Like it's kind of like like a chest is kind of dropped off to the side or shoulders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could be an alignment thing. Honestly, that does look like an implant displacement. It's unfortunate
Mm-hmm.
this happened. Um, this is where it gets tough. I feel bad for the judges because if you look at her individually, her individual physique is great. It's hard to really pick it apart because she does seem to have quite a bit of development everywhere. Looking at her back shot, she could probably use a little bit more width in her lats to balance out how big the glutes are. But other than that, like she's got mature and and she's confident with it. The only, like I said, the only thing, maybe a little bit more lats, and then of course the abs too. It's because we're coming out of the waist trainer generation. I used to wear one too. I still have one every now and then. But something
Mm-hmm.
that Sandy said to us in a seminar once is that they can tell the difference between waist trainer abs and trained abs to not be afraid of it. But it's that slick, flat look on the abs when they don't pop. Kind of like if you see Nick Walker, how his abs pop. He's not using a waist trainer because he has muscle.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, at the core, you can look at her core and then look at Brooke's core and see that that's what Brooke's core is so much more.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, I think her age is she's about 50,
Yeah,
and that is
and
pretty.
which
It's pretty
is
impressive.
amazing to still have that muscle quality at that age.
Yeah, because when you hit that point in your life, you don't maintain that development as you should. There's quite a few women who in the sport who have still even 50 plus still maintain a level of great muscle development, but there's some that just after a certain time it starts to drop off a bit. Jared, what's your thoughts?
Um, Yeah, I pretty much concur with all that. I think there is a bit of a distortion with her breast, something about that, but I think her chest looks okay, just a little bit flat to say the least. Arms look good. Legs can't really complain. Yeah, she looks pretty good for somebody in her 50s.
Hmm. I think the thing is also like this. If if she can go like this, I know this is expensive to do it, but she might need to get reconstruction surgery on her breast implants. Maybe get them where she can be more symmetrical. You might say. I know it's truthfully women. Your breasts are not natural. Natural breast women. Your breasts are not even. But like I say, with this, I think it's something she can repair or fix next year. And I'm a fan of Barbara. I think she has a good chance. I'm not sure she's going to place in the top three, especially if you got someone like Brooke coming up right. She's right there in front of you, and then a couple of ladies. That's a good chance that might even take the spot. Now we're going to move on again to the lady at number uh, 4. I mean number 5. Sorry, number 5, and that is Anna Harris. And like I said, here's Harris. Let's see. Let's bring her up. And you know what? She has. I mean, she did pretty good making. This is her first Olympia, I believe, and getting the 5th place spot.
Yeah,
So yeah, you think she might need to
she,
improve? Go
she
ahead.
just needs to be honest with you. Looking at her physique through all the photos and stuff just now, she just needs to be a little leaner, a little brighter. But she's got that same shape, you know what I mean? In order to get to where you need to be to compare to those top 3, you've got to get your conditioning on point. Only
Hmm.
then can you really compare size of muscle to size of muscle. Because when it's not as lean, it looks larger, right? So she just kind of looks like if you're telling her if you're slightly out of focus, you wanted to just tighten it up a little bit more, that she's just missing that a little bit. But other than that, shape is great.
Yeah, I think one thing I think she might need just a little more size, conditioning, and also her abs be more, more pop. Yeah, like you said,
Yeah, and that'll come with being tighter too. When you're
Mhm.
leaner on stage, you look bigger because there's more contrast. So I think she's right there. But for her first Olympia, that's amazing. You have to understand too, nerves become a huge deal when you get on stage, especially for women. Because if they're stressing out at all right before stage, that's what happens. You end up getting a little foam of water on you because it's first off.
You went like I say. Some ladies say one lady mentioned she was doing a show. She was there and then she just went flat. And I think it's just stress can do that. And I think it's fun. Okay, Jared, your opinions, your thoughts, sir.
I see a lot of potential with her. I like her chest, breast, chest, body area. She's got nice proportions to her. Yeah, she's got nice looks. I think she has potential to be a physique champion.
Yeah, she has a very attractive young lady. I think she has aesthetics. I think the judges like. She's all you gotta do is just fix whatever she needs to fix. Like I said, her back, her abdominals. I mean, maybe her quads. You push a little more water out. As you like to as they like to say, come more drier. That's the thing. I hear that often. They say drier. You know. So like I said, she looks pretty impressive. Now we're going to number 6. And give me a second. And 6. And let's see, number 6. And number 6 is Melissa. I think it's Tech. If I got her name wrong, I'm sorry. And she
It's fine.
she could, if she brings it. I'm looking at it right now. Just bring a little more size. I think she could be a bodybuilder. So what's your opinions?
Yeah, I like that idea for her too. Because we're looking at it, and what it looks like she needs is more upper body, because her legs are so dominant. but it's more the flow of her. Yeah, I think that. The flow of her physique is definitely a bit more bodybuilding.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, because
I
especially.
concur.
Go ahead, Jared.
Yeah, I concur, especially with the arms and body area. Yeah.
Yeah, she has. I think she's a little thicker around the shoulder area. Her arms a little bit bigger. Her quads. If she bring them in size, I think there's a possibility. No more likely. If like I said, I don't follow social media. I thought I think the judges might have. She might some of you ladies you go to the judges. Excuse me, you get their critiques, and they'll tell you what you feel like you might need to do. And it happens a lot. Somebody say stay in this division. Somebody say move up to that division. But like I say about
Well, you have to
Lucifer,
look at it too. Is she going to play top 5 in bodybuilding?
hmm
If we're going to look at the top 5 bodybuilding girls, you know that there's a long way for her to go to get there. So
yeah,
at some point,
yeah,
you also have to think: do I win a trophy in money and stay where I'm at? And it may not be first, or do I not place at all?
yeah.
Depends on
Because
what
I
you do.
remember, yeah, some ladies told me that same thing too. Because she made top five, I mean, she can come back, get some money. I mean, the prize money for the show was for the whole Olympia was up to about $1.6 million. But I will talk about this later at the end of this and how I feel like it should have been just a little better for some of the ladies. It's just this is we talked about this before too. But like I said, she looks pretty impressive, and more likely she's gonna stay where she's at. But if she gets to the point where she gets more size and development, the judges are gonna tell her you might need to move up. Yeah.
I agree.
So next, now we're gonna go to a lady who was in the top five last year, and you know, she got put down to the lower to seven. She's still in the top 10, but she got placed seven, and that is Ivy Rain. And to me, Ivy is just I follow on social media. I've seen one time there's this video of her walking with a male bodybuilder, and from the back,
I know what
like
you're talking about. Her back is huge.
yeah,
It's her trap.
her back, her traps are crazy. I remember she was doing female bodybuilding channel AJ and JB over there. She was doing an interview with them. Her shoulders took up the screen. I
Yep.
mean, and they were doing a critique at the because they can't come over here because AJ lives in Norway, JB lives in Germany, and they had Stephanie Flesher. Stephanie Flesher was in women's physique. She did Omaha. She switched, did women's bodybuilding, and she asked JB and AJ, "You think Ivy should go to women's bodybuilding?" And JB says no. And so I just want to get y'all thoughts on that.
No, not with this current look. She'd be in the same place as the other girl, where she would need to put on a massive amount of size to be competitive. Because it really for them to move up, you have to look at their back shot, because that's really going to make the biggest difference. And I'll be honest, yeah, she's real big, but this stage looks a little like she lost a little bit of muscle to get to that conditioning. And she maybe got a little tighter this time, so she looks a little smaller. But her balance and flow is a little off. Same area, right in the midsection. That lower back, right around the waist. I know the goal. The goal is to get the waist tiny, but without that full complete look, that's where you end up placing.
All right. Well, wait a second. All right, Jared.
Yeah, I also think she should stick with women's physique. I just don't see her being able to compete with the other girls on stage, especially with that physique at the moment. It's just too small and not enough definition.
Mm-hmm. Like I was talking with some other people that felt like this was her best look. She might have came in a little undersized. She was. This is something because I'm become quite acquainted from these ladies. I remember a while back where I was chatting with Barbara Majan over on social media, and I was saying, Barbara Jean took fourth place, which was pretty amazing. She beat out somebody like, and I'm gonna show you this I'm gonna get this picture real quick, and y'all gonna laugh at this and I saw this picture, and if I can find it, I remember I had it. where Barbara was getting when she was getting the flowers for taking first place. Ivy had a look to her face. It was like, that look of, how somebody we ladies win or place, you smile. You try to keep, a good, sense of respect and understanding. But if I could find that picture, I had it here, where I saw there's a picture of Ivy off to the side, and she didn't have too much of a very, I would say,
It was
I'll
it was a
yeah.
more of a look like, man, again.
Yeah, I'll find it later. We'll sure we'll talk about it. But yeah, she had that look, But you got to really come in great condition. Even though Barbara might have some faults to her physique, she was, she came in good condition. You know. But also, I'm gonna talk about a couple of ladies in this division while I'm here, because there's some women who, kind of interest me. And I'm gonna start off with one lady here who recently, some time ago, she was competing at the Portugal Pro, and that is Laura Chinchilla. And Laura wanted to switch to women's bodybuilding, but the judges told her no. And to me, I don't know her. May I mean, it's a bait. I mean, look at her. She is like her shoulders, her lats. I think if she bring her legs a little more, she her waist is a little bit more tapered. I mean, she looks pretty impressive. I mean, I think she got 11 at this show. I think the last show she got 12. She seems like she's trying to climb up a little bit.
Yeah, she just looks like she needs to dial in her peak a little bit better. She looks a little flat in her prejudging photos because you can tell the muscle mass is there, and it's not quite water either. I think she just might be a little flat, which maybe would have had her place a little bit better. She could use probably a little bit more quad sweep to kind of give her that dramatic look and make her waist look a bit smaller. But yeah, she's another one that's got a great frame.
Yeah. What you think of it, Jared?
I think her quads are a little bit small. I think she's going to work a little bit on her body symmetry.
Yeah.
Yeah, she looks a little like her body looks kind of like a cup almost. It's it needs a little bit of work basically. I think abs look a little bit flat. Yeah. I do think she needs a little bit work in that division.
Yeah, that's good.
I'm looking at a back shot, and I think that is very accurate because the lats are clearly different sizes, and the conditioning on the glutes is clearly different sizes. So, yeah, she just needs to work on some talent.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna talk about one more woman in the division, and this young lady, as you know, she won the Europe Pro a while back. And to me, she's young. She has, good, but the thing is about her, and that's Alicia Kissling, is she's too butch for the division.
That's her personality.
Yeah, it is that. It's a thing. She's like opposing. I think she's more. If there was a women's classic physique, I think she would do a lot better. She's a little soft compared to her how she looked at the New York Pro. She didn't really.
I honestly think she dieted too long.
Yeah, she looked a lot soft. Yeah, because compared to the New York Pro, she looks pretty impressive. And I think one thing about her is that, as a quick critique, critiquing her, her posing style is too masculine for the she's trying to channel classic men bodybuilder like Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sergio Olympia, Frank Zane. And as you ladies, you do the shows, you do the photo sessions for. If I don't want to fit anybody, but it's just true. The Beat the Meat websites. Her photo session, looks like she's wearing briefs, tennis shoes, and a sport top. I mean, I just I want your opinions. Just.
I like her in feminine physique only because I like the dimension that she allows us to live in. That there are all types, shapes, and sizes that enter and personalities. Um, Women's physique is where we get to kind of start expressing ourselves a little bit more. In bikini and figure, we do have to kind of fit into this model or like supermodel style, persona. So I actually really like her posing. I like that it has a little bit of a masculine flair to it. Um, but there's no way that she's going to be able to do well in bodybuilding if she can't get
No.
enough muscle for physique. She's way too small. I think that she dieted way too long, or the people that she won against were just not conditioned and that she won by conditioning. There's different levels to this. She's got an amazing physique, she's got an amazing shape, she knows how to move it, she just needs more space. A lot.
Sir Jared.
Yeah, I pretty much just agree with that. If she wants to get into bodybuilding, she's definitely got to pick up her size. I do see some potential with her though. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Just size and definition.
Yeah, but like I said, like this thing advice for her. I know she's very butch, but when you're doing photo sessions, we like to see y'all, in like something sexy, not look like you like one of the dudes. That's how some of you ladies make your money, because the guys like us and Jared, me and Jared, we like to see y'all in very.
There's girls that watch too.
Huh?
There's girls that watch too.
Yeah, I know you ladies watch, but you guys remember the majority of the fan base is gonna be men. You gotta remember that. As you know, with men's bodybuilding, you break it down like this: you got guys who are fan of men's bodybuilding. You have guys who are fans of men's bodybuilding who also come ça is another word gay, and you have a good number of women who like it. But the larger majority of guys who follow women bodybuilding is going to be male. If you ladies, you like it and you admire it and you want to, but I think the larger majority is the male fan base, and we're the ones who are going to spend them. Yeah.
I was more referring to the fact that the females that are following her are most likely also sexually attracted.
Yeah, come say, but generally it's for us guys, we want to see something that's very, even when you feel about it, you still have to bring a little femininity to it. That's just something that helps us too.
Something.
When we're, yeah.
I remember at the New York Pro, she wins her routine, and she said afterwards that her coach had told her not to hit the most muscular, and she did it anyway in her routine, but then very fluidly made it into a pretty side chest that she had done, like almost like she loved those poses.
Yeah, because like I said, she I see a picture of what I did was a later where I had her and I did a comparison with another bodybuilder, and it's crazy where it's just she's young, she's impressive, but she just needs to dial it back a little bit. And I think somebody really needed to work with her on her femininity. Because that in the long run, she's young, she's attractive, she can really, lay off of that, if she can dial it back a little bit. And that's for us schmoes. We guys who get excited when your ladies on stage. We love you when you are competition season because you're ripped and shredded. We love you when you're off season. But it's all about how you want to bring the look and presentation. Now, we're gonna go to the big show of it all, and we're gonna go with the queen, the boss, top lady of them all, and that is one Miss Andrea Shaw. I'm channeling my AJ from ABC. We love the big freaky chicks. And I'm gonna take I find the right one because she's just amazing. I mean, she is. I would think, like I said, her and Sarah are the gold standard now. I think she has the looks that if you go back to, I would say, classic '90s, like Kim Vivetsky, Linda Murray, Denise Rosowski. She has a little more size to it, but that's the look that the judges want to see. And that's why she placed top. last year, Iris supposed to came back, but Iris got sick. But and there was talks like, well, Iris is gonna win. No, Iris been out too long, and I thought like it was gonna be top three was gonna be Margie, Iris, and Andrea, but it surprised me. It really with Iris out of it, I think it shaked it up. So gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, what's your thoughts?
Andrea is just choosing the man. Go ahead. I'll let you go first. I've been going first this whole time, and this is your.
Go ahead,
this is your
Jared.
segment.
This is Jared's knowledge way.
Yes, this is where my expertise finally starts coming in. Andrea Shaw. She comes in at 170 pounds of muscle. She really has packed on some muscle since 2020 and especially 2019. I can't really say anything, critique her in any way. I mean, she is the peak pinnacle of the sport at the moment, and I don't really see her getting dethroned anytime soon. I think she's going to come back and win the 2022 Rising Phoenix and Miss Olympia as well.
I think she should also, like I say, maybe skip the Rising.
She won't.
Well, she should.
She won't, though.
Yeah.
She said it in
because you have to remember, Wings of Strength is what held bodybuilding together for women outside of Olympia. So for her to say no Wings of Strength, only Olympia, the respect there, it would be. She's so involved with Wings of Strength. Wings of Strength is bodybuilding Olympia.
Yeah, but what it do is like it takes away opportunity. Cause like this is what happened to. That's what happened to female bodybuilding before they dropped it. When I was doing both the Olympia and the Miss International, and I think that was just made it difficult for other competitors.
The Rising Phoenix is only a couple of weeks before the Olympia.
Yeah,
so usually it's like a 2 to 3 week turnaround, and they just roll right in, or even 1 week turnaround, they roll right in.
Yeah, and and you remember the Miss International was part of the honor. Used to be in March. And then you didn't have to worry about the Olympia till about the end of the year. So you had this time span. And what like I did with her, she popped on stage, she wore the second toe, won another car at $50,000. And she did like I say, she put on a little more muscle. She looks like a lot tighter. It's true. She might even beat Iris's record. Because she's just gonna be. She turned 38 last year.
She was at the gym at 6:30 in the morning the day after she won the Olympia.
Yeah, and also she did a seminar show, because I got a video of some guy I follow. She was at a seminar show that he had after the Olympia, at the Olympia, and she looked still, even though after that show, she still looked impressive. Now, like I said, there's enough said. Next up is second runner up, and a legend who's been in this game. She's one of the handful of women who have competed in the Olympia, even after they said again, walked quietly behind female bodybuilding and stabbed it in the heart. And that was one Miss Hella Trevino. And Hella looked, I think, her best, other than her last win at the Rising Phoenix. Hella looked pretty good. She was, this is something that people didn't know. She was being coached by Selby Starnes, and if you know a lot of stories going around him, she switched coaches. She switched him. She kept one of her other coaches, that was Charles Glass, and Charles is a legend. He's been in the game for a long time. I remember him back in the day when he was competing. And she just looked really impressive this show. She really did.
I agree. I honestly think that that was a hard top two. The only difference is Andrea's shape is just, it's kind of hard to beat, but Hella looks amazing.
Yeah,
I love
she looked. Yeah, she looked better than she was at the Rising. So we get back to the man, the expert here. He was there. He wasn't there. He watched the show. So how you feel about the big Dutch woman, Hella Trevino, Mr. Jarrett?
Well, first of all, she's not Dutch. She's Danish.
Danish. Oh, I forgot Danish.
Yes, but she lives in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember her saying about her coach at the conference before the Miss Olympia, and I thought, yeah, that is definitely going to that definitely could be a game changer there, switching up your coat like that 3 weeks or whatever before the show. And Hilla, she comes in. She always comes in great size, definition. I just didn't think she would be able to beat Andrea Shaw simply because she's Andrea Shaw and she's the Miss Olympia.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think she
It's
came
about
in
as
a
close
very
as you can
close
get,
second.
right?
Yeah, and because if you're going for the champ, you got to come in like beyond your best. And this
Mm-hmm.
is her best.
Blazing.
Yeah, this is her best uh, ranking she's gotten so far at the Miss Olympia. So
Mm-hmm.
that's
Because
definitely
her first Miss Olympia was about 2003, and then she had an injury that set her out for about 8 years. She didn't come back to about 2011, 2010. And then right now, I saw she did an interview with Isabella Terrell. She's thinking about retiring, but she might want to hang in one more year or two, or that's up to her. And then she probably retire because I think because she missed so much. She was training other people and doing this. She missed so much of competing for those last 7 or 8 years. But she probably wants to hang on just one more year or another 2 more years, just to see how she does. You know. Oh, I think. Okay, yeah, there you go. There she goes. I got your mentions, but you're all right. All right, and like I say, Helen looked pretty good. She looked pretty good. I did a comparison video yesterday between her and Margie. It was Margie in 2020 and Hella in 2021. And check it out. Y'all follow my channel. But we'll go next up is I think one of my favorites. I love her. I'm a fan of hers. That's Margie the Marvelous. And yeah, and I think there's scuttlebutt is that Margie might retire after this show. I think because Margie she lives in Vegas now.
Really?
She has yeah, it's just I know some of my I would say confidential informants telling me that she's thinking about retiring. She's mostly been focused on the Olympia. I mean, even though and she has her other ambitions endeavors, and she I love this. This is I'm gonna tell you first like this. Red on a black woman with muscle is just beautiful. I mean, it's just chocolate and that red is just amazing. Like I remember Dan Cadeau used to wear like a red suit, and she was just so beautiful. It's just I don't know. It just got me. It's got me. Wow.
Yeah, I like her physique. She's one of my favorites because she's got so much personality. And if you watch the finals on Saturday, they had all the female bodybuilders on stage, and they all got to pick their own outfits. And she's always super close to the edge, but it's because she's so proud of her physique, and it shows. Like, if there's anything you can take from her performance, is that her performance is just confident, cool, collected. It's the same thing. It's about as close as you can get, without completely overshadowing the champ. I think for quads is something that obviously is a big, eye catcher because they're just so dominant. And I don't know, it's hard to critique her necessarily, other than just maybe a couple of balance things. But I don't know if she could change that because that's kind of her frame.
Mm-hmm. I'm waiting.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, yeah, her quads look insane. Yeah, there's really not that much to really critique about her. I think she definitely has a very rich, fascinating personality, and she really brings something to the sport that if she were to retire, um, I don't know if we would get back at all.
Yeah, and all thing about Margie, everybody knows about Margie. She is a former United States Marine Sergeant, and I can thank her for her service. She's also a mother. And one thing about her is I think one thing hurts a bit is her midsection. Is she has that scar. I think the C-section scar, and she comes with tattoos. I think you never notice. I think her torso is a little shorter because her
Yeah.
posing suits kind of ride up a
Yeah.
lot higher than all the other girls.
Yeah, I do
That's
notice that.
intentionally to make her look small.
Hmm. Oh, so what say it again, Liz?
That's intentional. A short-waisted female pull our suits up super high to create the illusion of a smaller waist.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Well, it's a good illusion.
It works.
Next up, yeah. Next up, we have number 4, and I think this was kind of some people really, I think some people was kind of surprising. That was her to get this far, and that is Mona Porcella, and Mona. This is the thing about her. She lives in Canada, and Canada, they unlike the U.S. have completely shut down everything. They are still you still can't even go into Canada, and unless you have some kind of special permission. And they're supposed to be having the New York Pro. I mean, sorry, the Toronto Pro. I think in December, and I think I was talking to some competitors who said they would love to do that show because I think it's outside of the pretty much almost outside the U.S. and it's not as close as a joint to the Wing of Strength as some of the other shows are, and they would love to do that show. And she had to build her own gym at home, and I mean, she won the Tampa, and then she takes 4th place at her first Olympia, and I mean, it's just and this also saying she's from Iran, and she said that in the interview she can't go back home because what she's doing is very against their. She's Persian. Persian is considered it's Iranian years ago, but it's more of Persians are more close to Jews than are to Islam, to the Muslim.
Uh, um, they're more. Well, it's a complicated historical
Yeah,
thing. I'll just get the point is, yeah, kind of not 100%, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
yeah. But like I said, she's pretty impressive. I mean, Jared said she's the one who stepped up first. Your thoughts?
Oh, yeah, she's very impressive. She's got amazing chest and physique. Uh, I like her abs and everything else. She's definitely a bodybuilder to the B, to say the least. She's not one of these like former physique, former whatever. She has just been top. She's just been bodybuilding for her whole career, and she's still looking good even at her age. I think she's like 50 or something.
Yes.
And I see her competing for a few more years. Next time she could get 3rd or even 4th. I mean, even 2nd.
Yeah, because I know one of my friends, Alicia Fleur, told me said she's about 50. I said, what? I thought she was at least close to like maybe mid-30s to maybe early 40s, but she's about. I mean, I don't know. I look at her. I just don't see her being that close to 50. I thought she was more like in her 30s. Miss Curtis, we're missing you. Did Liz drop off? Let me check. We lost Liz. Hope she come back later. But yeah, Mona, she has she's really impressive. Her upper body, I think, is a great thing. She's a great poser too.
Yeah, we could
'cause
talk about the pose down as well.
Yeah, her posing is pretty good. She does very fluid style of posing.
Yeah,
And she has won Best Poser at the Rising Phoenix. I think she won it twice.
yeah.
Her style is very different. You know, um, it's just she has a look to her. But like I said, it surprised me about her age, being that she's about 50. And I was certain this woman was at least uh, mid 30s, maybe early 40s. but about 50. I just couldn't see it. Well, we lost Miss Liz Curtis. She might come back. I don't know. As you know, it's technical difficulties. We had the dear Dame Marianne. So, now I think it's going to be me and Jared for a good while. I think I got a message from this, maybe the old message. Thank you for bringing me on. Always a pleasure. All right, thanks. You know, thank Liz Curtis for coming on. And
Yep.
appreciate it. You know, I would love for thanks. You know, and we just like I said, we're gonna go the rest of the way with me and Jared. I was hoping we get some more ladies. But things is, people got lives, got things to do. Now, next up, number 5 is um Irene Anderson, who is also, I say, is a gatekeeper too. This is the second time she took 5th place at the show. She's also one of the few women that competed in the Olympia before they decided to move it to take it off of the IFB lineup, Premier Bodybuilding lineup. And she's 54 years old, 54, and still she's pretty impressive.
She's 55.
55. Oh, okay, 55.
And I don't know if she actually competed prior to the Miss Olympia getting removed. I think she competed in 2020, but I think that was it.
Yeah.
Look.
I thought she did a Olympia too, but I remember I saw a picture. So some competitors I recognized that did the Olympia before, and still I think other than Margie, Hella, and Monique Jones, she also did Olympia before.
Yep.
Monique Jones, and I think it's about it. Kim Buck, and I think that's about it. I think those 4 women that did the Olympia before it was taken off, before Fever Body was taken off the IFB lineup.
Yep.
And you know what? As you know, she took 12th at the Rising Phoenix. They gave her most muscular, but that wasn't her best look at the Rising.
Yeah. So what do you think happened here? Did she just really worked herself for these last 3 weeks, or what happened with the rapid change?
I think that's probably what she did. As you know, she lives in Sweden. I call it the Big Swede, and she had to do a quarantine in Turkey. So she, once the quarantine was over, she was working out doing quarantine. When she was doing a quarantine, she did the Rising. But the thing is, this is advice. She should have done it her quarantine maybe a couple of weeks before, so she can come here and train, so she can be prepared. Well, I follow her on social media. She was doing Texas, and she was living in Texas, staying there for getting ready for the Olympia. I think she was just training, getting ready here, which helps you a lot, because you know what, you might be training someplace else, but you got to take a plane, come here, blah 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 blah. It's a lot easier if you can come in maybe a couple of weeks in advance, get yourself settled, find a good gym, and come in, in better condition. But she looks a lot better in this show. I think those 3 weeks where she had a place to stay, train, and prepare really helped her out. The same thing when Hella switched judges, and these two are very good friends.
Yeah.
Hella and being both from the we call the how about it, Nordic countries.
Nordic,
Yeah, Nordic. Scandinavian, being descendants of Vikings. Danish and Swede. But yeah, this is the best look for it.
Yeah.
Now we go.
And keep in mind that she's 55. She's like 2 years older competing than even Betty Parizo, who was the oldest professional female bodybuilder to compete prior to her.
And Betty, I remember Betty was huge. And I remember some people were telling her she wasn't placing too well. And what she started doing was she started doing the crab pose. They were told that the crab pose is the most muscular pose done by bodybuilders, but they're telling the women to get away from it. But she wasn't doing too well in placing, so she started doing the crab pose. She won the Jantana a couple of times and placed well in some shows. Betty was huge. She was maybe
Yeah.
about she's probably about as if not big, about as big as Irene. And I think she was
Yeah.
tall too. She was a tall
Yeah.
woman. Yeah. So, like I said, we're gonna go on to the sixth place, and then we'll talk about a couple of the ladies that in the show I follow, and give my critique. You know, Sixth place was um Michaela Acop. What did I do? I overshot it. Michaela took sixth place, and as we were talking about Alicia Kessling. Alicia is no more the same size than Michaela. I think she might be. I think Alicia might be just an inch taller than Michaela. And Michaela was physique. She competed. She switched to bodybuilding in 2019. I did a video where she was saying like how she was taking some time back. People was curious what she was talking about. I did a video about that because we were curious. And she responded to that video. She wasn't very happy about the video, but hey, when you leave something, when you put on social media a ambiguous note, and you kind of people are curious what's going on, people gonna make comments about it. And I was the only one who made a video about it. But she mentioned that a friend of her died, she committed suicide. I understand that, but if you have anything like, be careful when you put it on social media. You gotta be careful because people will be curious. Because we have seen too many competitors leave, and because of personal reason like that, and just you leave it up in the air. But her, she kind of reminds me around about a bit of Dr. Dina Westerfield in some way. I mean, the hair, blonde, and Dina was more curly hair, but right about the upper chest and the shoulders and the lats, she looked pretty impressive. What do you think, Jared?
Yeah, I actually wanted her to place fifth, solely because I wanted to see her rise in the sport a bit. Yeah, I really think she packs on a lot of muscle. She's very young. I think she's going to help mature the sport a lot if she stays around, and she should stay around. She's got a lot of muscle put on her frame. I think she's got some of the best uh, glutes in the sport, period. Anytime you look at her backside, it is completely ridiculous, ripped beyond all comprehension.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and she's like I said, she's no more. I think she's about 5 feet, maybe 5'1". She's just a little shorter than Alicia Kissling. That's why I said like this. Kissling could, if she put on the muscle, she could switch to bodybuilding because you got to look at Michaela. She's no more different than from her.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now I'm going to talk about a couple ladies who I follow on social media, who I feel, my personal opinion, should did a little higher, should did a little better. I mean, a couple ladies, yeah.
Can we
hmm?
can we talk? Oh, sorry. Can we talk about Virginia Sanchez?
Yeah, I am a fan of Virginia Sanchez. We would talk about Virginia, and I am a fan of Virginia Sanchez. And Virginia, she looked, a lot larger. I think the last time outside of the Remaining Muscle Fest, the last time she did a show was the Rising Phoenix, I think in 2019. And she made the top 5 of that show. And before the Muscle Fest, she did the Europa show. She took third of that show. And that was a show we had 2 Czech bodybuilders. You had Margita Samalova and the late Elena Havanti took the 2 top spots.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's looking pretty. Yeah, she's definitely got that um, cut ripped look to her with just everything about her looks really amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, just I kind of wanted to see her place a little bit higher too. She definitely did come in. I think probably her best I've ever seen her. Maybe maybe there was one Rising Phoenix where she did maybe a little bit better. But yeah, and some stuff I learned from the live stream about her was the commentators. She's been competing in bodybuilding since 1990,
Mm-hmm.
and she's 50 years old.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's one of the ladies that are over who is 50, and she put on size. Usually, when you get to that close to that age, it's hard to put on that size. I think her. If you follow Jay Fuchs is over in she was in Switzerland. She has put on some size, and Jay hadn't competed since 2018. And I think a lot of ladies who want to compete want to do the shows here in America. There's more shows in America. There's some shows coming up over in Europe. You got the Muscle Fest coming up in a couple of months. You had the Portugal show. You had the show in Europa. I think Helena has a show. It's called Valhalla, but I don't think it's pro per se. I think it's a more I forgot about this show because I don't think there was a lot of bodybuilders I knew about it. But Virginia, I've been a fan of her for a long time. She was, as you know, her and Lisa Cross were the last two women to come into bodybuilding before the NPC dropped international bodybuilding, female bodybuilding, because they were the last two to come in, and that was back in 2013, and her and Lisa Cross were the last two to come in, because as you know, what keeps bodybuilding going is a lot of young up and coming competitors from overseas and other countries. That's what keeps it going, in my opinion. So now I'm gonna talk about a couple ladies, and after that we'll do a little talk about after the show, and then talk about some other stuff like that. Uh, it's a couple ladies who I'm fond of, who I have the interviews with. I talk on social media. I'm fond of, and that is Sheena Oleg, and Sheena took 12th place, and I thought she would do higher. I you know I think Sheila has a great her physique kind of mirrors to classic like Sheila Black, Nancy Lewis, Kim Perez. I mean, she has the look similar to them. She doesn't have she has the tattoos on the arms, but she doesn't have breast implants. Her she has that overall look comparison to those ladies from that time. She I follow her on social media. She's pretty proud of herself. She did 12th place for her first Olympia, but she might look a little soft for this show. Like she didn't look too good at the Rising Phoenix. She looked great at Chicago, but the Rising wasn't her best. And this one, she looked a little soft too. What do you think, Jared?
Yeah, I think she also looks a little bit too soft. Yeah, I think she's definitely got potential to her if some competitors retire and she gets more developed and less soft coming in. She could definitely place in the top five. I can see that.
Yeah, and I like Sheena. I mean, I saw a picture. She sent. She looks she's beautiful. She's an attractive young woman. I mean, she is amazing. And I think she might do pretty good next year. If a couple of competitors retire, if they don't, then she could probably make top 10 next time. Like I said, she did look a soft for this show. I think she likes too much. She loves. She was killing. She was after like she didn't make the finals. She was outside. She was in her the little suits they gave you for the little jumpsuits they gave for the show. She was eating a cookie, one of these big cookies, and she was dancing. That's that was crazy. Now this one lady who I'm fond of also, and that is Rashana Boswell. And, and I don't know how the heck she got 15th. Now, this is where somebody talk about where the issue is Rashana's back. And that's why she took second at Chicago Pro last year. But I mean, over between I would say Leah Daney, she got her spot right because Leah Daney just didn't have enough to get even. She deserved 16. I like Daney, but she deserved it. But then, for someone like Salvin Mate and LaDon Day to top over her, and LaDon still look like she's a bit soft. I mean, I just don't see how she got 15th. I honestly don't.
Yeah, I think maybe it was the tattoos on this result.
Yeah, I think that does hurt a lot of competitors because those tattoos do get away. If you get like a small tattoo, something, not in the way, but it does, I think she's a great competitor, but I think it does hurt her in places. She did pretty good at Savannah. She won her first Bodybuilding Pro at Savannah. She earned no points last year to compete at the New York. This is Olympia. This is the second Olympia show. But yeah, I think the tattoos, like kind of like Millie Specco. What Millie started doing was what?
I think her arms are also pretty soft too, with the tattoos and all, and combine that, yeah.
Yeah, it does take, and she's a little bit thicker in the back. She has, I think she has more of a booty. If she can't tighten in her glutes a little more, that I think, but she still shouldn't have got 15. I mean, especially over LaDama Day. LaDama Day, she looks.
Well, speaking of which, when the live stream commentary for the finals for the Miss Olympia started, guess who was talking and guess what they were talking about?
Who? Linda?
It was Linda Murray, and she was talking about LaDon McDay. And I just, had to snicker a bit, just thinking like, oh my God, she's really talking about LaDon McDay. And it's like, I'm just thinking back to our previous conversations about her.
Yeah. And then LaDon was the one that won the Norfolk.
Yeah.
And I'm saying like this, I'm still thinking like this, how she beat out between Janine Likowski and Nikki Chartrand. I feel like this Nikki and Jean should have fight for first, and then and then how she looked at the New York, and also she did Omaha, and I'm like, she did Omaha barely a week from the Norfolk, and she placed 5th at the Omaha, and then she wins the Norfolk. And I just don't see it. She just can't bring in the vascularity and definition for female bodybuilding. I think she started physique, and I don't see how she is, places over some women who look more vascular, who look more put together. I mean, even that, you say like, Rashana's arms look a little soft. She looked altogether overall more solid compared to, but I think what it's like I said, it's the tattoos that hurts Rashana. It's just, it does get away of when you look at the muscle development, the judges got to look around. I've seen some women with tattoos do pretty good, but if it's too, like, you have too much ink, it really gets away at the development of the muscle. Now, I'm gonna do one more lady, and then we're done. And this lady, I like her because when she was at the show, I saw her. She posted on her IG where she was crying. I made a comment to her. She really thanked me. She liked my comment. I think she has a future, and once she was also a physique competitor, and that is the Nadia, and Nadia got 10th. And I like her. She has, she has those looks that's kind of reminds me of like classic, back in the day, female bodybuilding, like good part of the 90s. And I think she just, she did pretty good. She was physique. Her last show was back in 2019 at the Tampa. She got 12th place. She won the Puerto Rico show, and to me, she really just, I think if she brings in just a little more size, with her and just and tighten her conditioning, she could make top 5 next year. What you think?
Yeah, I think that's definitely a possibility. Yeah, either her or Sylvia, one of those two Italian female bodybuilders could definitely tap the top 5 if they really put their mind to it. I'd say you always love bringing up the 1990s female bodybuilders. I'm from the
2000, yeah, I
2000s.
know.
I'm from the 2000 generation,
Uh-huh.
so that's the era that I want to return back to in my prime. But
For 2000, would you think she's kind of like maybe uh closer to somebody like maybe Jimmy Pepperone or I'm trying
I
to think of
see, I see Dennis I can't
Denise
even remember.
Denise Massino.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, I'm
Hmm.
seeing a little bit of her in that. I'm seeing some other like some other female bodybuilders like from Venezuela or something like that.
Or
I'm
like
seeing some of that. Yeah, you probably know who I'm talking about.
Xavier
Uh,
King, yeah, Xavier King, or you're talking about Maria or Rita Bello.
Rita Bello's from Argentina. I
Yeah.
was thinking more of the other Venezuelan, but I can't remember her name at the moment.
Uh,
So yeah, I do. I
Freddie
see what you're talking.
Barrows
Yes.
or Betty Vivian.
Frenny
Barrows.
Barrows.
Yeah, Freddie. He's from
Yeah, I'm seeing some. I'm butchering these names. Yeah, I see some of that with her.
Yes. Yeah, I love Fan. She was amazing. I mean, and RIP to her. She was amazing. She had a great look to her. I mean, I think if that wouldn't happen to her, I think she would have kept on. But I was a fan of her. I think she had a great physique. She was beautiful. I think But anyway, I think we are done. I mean, if you have any ladies you feel like you want to critique while we're here,
I want to talk about the pose down of the Miss Olympia
oh
because that is like the signature uh, finale of the Miss Olympia, and um, you can go into YouTube and find this for free if you're
yeah,
just somebody who's too cheap to actually pay for this, unlike
yeah.
me. I am not too cheap to pay for this.
Wow.
I put my money to my mouth, and if I want to support a sport, I actually have to pay for it.
Yeah,
Um,
I support it, but I live on a budget, so I be careful what I support.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
But the basically the the pose down um, this year had only 5 women in it.
Mm-hmm.
And the previous pose downs from let's say 2015 to literally right now, except for this one, had been all the women coming out to pose on stage. And I didn't actually like that much, simply because I thought it distracted from the top competitors. So this pose down, I liked it because it had the top 6 in it. But what I didn't like,
Actually, top 5 because I think
the
they
top
have
5. Yeah, the top 5.
Easy Michaela
Yeah.
because those are the ones in the money part. They're the ones the ones get their money.
Yeah, it was the top 5 that posed down. I liked that there was only 5, but what I didn't like was it kind of turned into like a dance off at the end. It wasn't like
Margie.
Margie was doing some dance off. I didn't particularly, like I was there just to see the pose. I did, and the camera angle too. I don't know if it's like because of Florida or anything, but there wasn't So basically, I took that and I went to the 2014 Miss Olympia. And in that one, the top six, and yes, the top six did a pose down in that one. And it's like night and day difference between those pose down and the 2021 Miss Olympia pose down. It's just they got like, camera angles that cut to like, these just chiseled abs and, flexing and, the girls are like, seeing whose back they can get the best. And that's really the kind of pose downs that I kind of like. Yeah, I think even the commentator commented that it was turned into more of like a wasn't really a pose down, it's more like a dance off at the end. But besides that, overall, great Olympia.
Yeah, I think you remember pose like the ladies would shove the other one out, and especially you try to get in front of the champion. Like somebody would try to get in front of Iris every now and then. And I think one point I remember I saw a video somebody posted, a guy I follow. He posted some like it's kind of like the shortening of the show. And there was one we see Margie at the side doing the crab pose. And most of the women don't do that pose much anymore because they say the judges don't want to do it. But when you do the pose down, you're free to do it.
Yeah.
Now, as you know, as I said again, the show said that the biggest show the biggest prize money of the show was $1.6 million. And I thought I think what it did was they gave $50,000 to the top contenders in all the other divisions. But to me, I think Miss Olympia should have got a little more because they got wellness now. Wellness got some money, but still, I think Miss Olympia should have got more. Big Ramy again, who's his second championship, walked away with another nearly $500,000. So, and I'm like this, I think, and you agree with me, they should at least give Andrea $100,000. I know she doesn't get the money that Big Ramy gets, but she should get a little more because she works just as hard. And I mean, and $50,000, you got to think about it. It costs more for a female bodybuilder to compete than it does for the men. They got to get jewelry. They got to get their hair done. They got to get they have to at least have two different posing suits. The pre-judging, which is probably don't cost that much, maybe about a couple $100 at most, and the final suit, which is going to cost them about $1,500 to $2,000. And
yeah,
it's just at least you give you should give Andrea $100,000. I think Hella could take at least $75,000, $50,000 to Margie, $25,000 to Mona, and $10,000 to Irene. And Irene has to go back. She has to do a 2-week quarantine before she goes back to Sweden.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it's just crazy. And like I said, I mentioned AJ and JB over at Female Body Channel, and they had Stephanie Flesher, who had 10 points. And Stephanie said this made his comment, she didn't want to get in by points. I'm saying, what? You may not even she posted something on IG. I mentioned to it, and she, we were talking, she was commenting on what I mentioned. I commented back to her. The thing is, you may not win a show, but you're getting points. You should take those points and run. Now, a couple of ladies who I wanted to be on the show with me and give their thoughts would have took those 10 points, and they would say, hey, you give me my 10 points, give me your 10 points, I'll go in, and compete. And, she should have just took an opportunity. But as you know, she's, if you follow on social media, Stephanie Fisher's on a mission against bad judging, and she just, she should have took an opportunity. What, you think if she had competed at the show, would it kind of change the dynamic of the show? Like her, is Stephanie Fisher. She was second behind Irene Anderson. I mean Gina Lakowski. Monique, who also took some time away, she was ninth place. And you have the chick from Russia, uh, Anastasia Leonova, yeah, who wanted to compete at the show, but because of visa issues, she couldn't compete. So, what do you think? How would that change it? Would it change anything?
Um, I don't really think much in the long run. At least in the top like 6 or so. I don't know. They would have placed somewhere in like maybe I don't know, Monique 7 or 8, Anastasia 9 or 10, maybe 11. Flesher, I don't know, 11th or 12th, maybe 13th. That's just me taking a guess, estimated guess, just off the top of my head.
Yeah, that's a pretty good guess. I think but I think depending, like I said, Monique. I think some talk says Monique might retire. Margie might retire. Hella might retire. I don't know my Irene. I think Irene might compete one more year and she might retire. And I think
So
if those ladies retire, I think it might change the standings of the next show.
yeah, that they retire, then that's a lot of people gone, and then Sheila APOC will rise to the top.
Yeah,
Watch it. She's gonna rise to the top.
yeah,
More than
and
everything.
yeah, and then if Alicia Young competes next year, you think that'd be a big difference?
Yeah, yeah, I think she could definitely get in the top 5. And I also think the one girl from Switzerland, if she competes and makes it in as well, I think she could get in the top 5. You know what I think about.
Julie Furry.
Yeah.
Yeah, Julia Furry. Sorry, Julia Furry.
Yep.
And then, like I say, right now we have the whole restrictions for coming into the country. If once those, I don't know, they might lift them by the summer or springtime. You get women like Jay Fuchs, who's been putting on size, Lisa Cross, a couple of women from overseas and north of the border, south of the border, who once those restrictions are lifted, they don't have to do a quarantine. Just get on a plane and get here. I think it would kind of change how things look for the competitors that are here.
If they're ever lifted.
If there's a lift, yeah.
If they're ever lifted, because the way things are going,
Yeah.
COVID is never going to leave the United States. I mean, it's been 2 years now with COVID. It started in September 2 years ago, and it has just. I predict it's never going to end. Honestly, it's just going to be here like the flu every season, and it's just never going to go away. I've come to that realization, but I think everybody else just needs to come to that too at this point.
Yeah. Well, maybe we hope that maybe there once we get used to it, they drop the restrictions, and a lot of ladies don't have to do quarantines. All they do is hop on a plane, come here, and compete. And I think
Until the next pandemic.
yeah, until the next pandemic, we just say. So anyway, this was a pleasure. It was fun. I'm sorry that Marianne couldn't stay in longer. I wish Liz could stay in longer. I wish the other ladies who I invited could come. But like I said, it was a good show.
Yep.
Maybe next year we do a critique like this. We get more ladies. We can probably, if we probably, work them in because, like I said, that's why I have them come in because I can use their eyes, their understanding, being competitors, and plus your expertise, being a fan like myself. But it was a fun show. Appreciate the people coming through. Marcus Bell, Brooke Burrell, Miss Fishiana Fights, and KL. Appreciate y'all coming through, liking, subscribing, supporting my our podcast. Uh, you know, uh, we right now there's not gonna be no shows until November, which is the Muscle Fest. So we gotta figure out a subject for the next 2 or 3 weeks. I think we put something together.
Yeah.
I've seen some ideas and bounce off of you and bounce off of me. And
But yeah, I'm gonna shoot on out here because I gotta get some sleep because I gotta go to work. But yep, this was a great episode. Good recap of the Olympia. Peace,
yeah,
everybody.
yeah. Peace, brother. Anyway, that was my man. The as I call him, hand of the Emperor Jared. I really if I could thank him, Liz Curtis, Marianne, and any of you who came through. It was a great show. And if you're a fan of sport, also all you gotta do is go to the Miss Olympia website. I think you still can watch the show again. Sometimes the stream wasn't that good, and like I said, I live on a budget, and it was expensive, $59 for that pay per view, and I think it was probably maybe more than the Wilder versus Fury fight. But like I said, I like to appreciate y'all and your time. Anybody who listens, share this video, comment, subscribe, also support these ladies in the sport. And also my rule is again, no D picks. Be respectful. Don't be that guy. Respect these ladies and then commit to the sport. Anyway, from me all the way to George Page, aka the Emperor of Female Bodybuilding Talk, from my man Jared Hannah, the Emperor, from Lady Liz Curtis, and Dame Mary Ann Wachowski. If I got it right, Mary Ann, please tell me. I'd like to appreciate y'all for coming through. Don't like, subscribe. I'm out.